midlifers are escaping the rat race and starting their own business. Are you tempted too? My name's Blair Palmer and I'm a coach, author, speaker and podcaster, and I believe that midlife is a brilliant opportunity to embrace change, to find a way to balance your work and the rest of your life and who you're becoming, and really embrace this next chapter in your life. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips for starting a business in midlife. Tip number 1 is to work out where your life is currently out of sync. It's great lying awake at night, just dreaming about what it would be like to be out of the situation that you're currently in and running your own business. We can get very idealistic about it. But if you actually want that new life to feel different, to work better for you, then you have to start by working out where is life out of sync now. What are you tolerating? What doesn't work well for you? Is it the working hours? Is it the working environment? Is it the people that you work with? Is it the job itself? Do you have enough time in your life for the other things that matter to you? Have you got passions or interests that you would rather center your life around than what you do day to day at work? So start by thinking about what's not working well for you and make a list of those things. Secondly, you need to work out what you're going to do instead. Now, this can be quite a big project trying to work this out, but you've got 20 or 30 years of work experience. Is there a way that you can leverage that on the open market? Is there a hobby or interest that you have outside of work that maybe you could sell for money? Could you do what you do today, but interim or freelance or on a sort of short contract basis? Now, what's really important is you don't need the perfect idea, okay? A lot of people spend a lot of time trying to come up with the perfect business idea before they're willing to get started. This isn't going to be perfect. This is going to be the first step. This is going to be what you do at first to make money outside of the 9 to 5. So don't get hung up on it having to be perfect. Just come up with some really good ideas. Thirdly, you need to test the model. So this is where you actually try to get some clients or customers. And you can do this while you still have your full-time job. I set up my coaching practice 20 years ago as a side hustle while I was still working long hours at the BBC. It was only when it got to the point where I couldn't take on any more clients without leaving my job that I felt like I tested the model. But just because something's a good idea to you and you think, oh, I'd love to do that as a business, doesn't mean that anyone is going to be willing to pay you to do it. So test out the model, start to get some customers or clients, start doing some marketing, put the word out there and see if there's any interest before you hand in your resignation. Fourth, get the money sorted. You're going to need a little nest egg if you're going to do this. You're going to need maybe a year's worth of salary in savings or some other form of income while you make the transition. You're not necessarily going to be able to replicate the salary that you're on today straight away. It might take you a few months and you don't want to spend those months worrying about money. So get the money sorted. Have a look at your outgoings and if you can rein those back in a bit so that you're not throwing money around. Have a look at where you could get some passive income. Are there rooms in your house you could rent out? Could you rent out the parking space in front of your house? Do you have another property that you could Airbnb? Are there other ways to kind of leverage the money you have, or do you need to save up a bit so you've got this what we call a runway, financial runway? But make sure that you get the money sorted, because the last thing you want to do is spend those glorious first few months out of the corporate 9 to 5 worried about where you're going to get any money from. And fifth, this might sound contradictory, but don't overplan it. You can spend months, years sometimes people spend trying to work out the perfect exit strategy. It's just not going to go according to plan. Once you start taking actions, you're going to be in a much better position to work out what you have to do next. So get the money in place, have a good business idea and make sure that you've checked it out. Make sure that people will be willing to part with their cash in order to buy that thing, that service or that product from you, and then start taking action. It's only when you start taking action that you'll really learn what you need to do. I hope you found that useful. You can find more tips and advice about that on my website, which is abrilliantgamble.com. There are blogs, there's a podcast where we talk about this stuff pretty much every week, so go and check that out. And you can join my Corporate Escapees Facebook group as well. And don't forget that if you subscribe to Psychologies magazine, then you'll get access to their free coaching programs as part of the Life Leap Club. I'll see you again soon.